There's something quietly powerful about a square face. It holds a certain grace, defined, sculpted, and full of presence. One of my close friends, a woman in her late 60s, once told me, "I've always loved the strength in my face, but lately, I've been craving something softer. Not to look younger, just lighter." And she's not alone. Many women over 60 begin to feel this subtle shift, a desire for ease, for softness, for something that reflects who they are now. Not fierce, not flawless, just quietly radiant. The lovely truth is, you don't need a dramatic makeover. You don't need to hide your face shape or fix anything. You just need a haircut that knows how to listen to your features and whisper back, "Let me lift that for you." One stylist I work with often says, when the right haircut meets the right face shape, especially for women over 60, it's like the face finally exhales. So today, I'm sharing 3 haircuts that do exactly that. Styles that soften strong jawlines, add lightness around the face, and help women over 60 feel effortlessly elegant again. And if you enjoy timeless beauty tips, gentle humor, and a space where age is something we celebrate, you're in the right place. Click subscribe and join us here at Glow After 60, where we believe beauty doesn't fade. It evolves, glows, and sometimes gets a little sassier with time. Ready? Let's dive in. Part 1. Haircut mistakes that make square faces look harsher. Before we get to the haircuts that work magic, let's talk gently about the ones that sometimes don't. Because even with the best intentions, some haircut choices can accidentally highlight the very things we're trying to soften. Especially for women over 60 with square face shapes, who often crave a bit more lightness, movement, and grace. Mistake 1. The blunt bob that stops right at the jawline. Yes, it's classic. Yes, it's chic on the runway. But on a square face, it draws a hard horizontal line right across the jaw, which is already the strongest feature. Instead of softening, it says, "Here's my jaw," in all its architectural glory. I remember one client, elegant, poised, who tried it after seeing it in a magazine. "It looked amazing on the model," she sighed. "But on me, it felt like I had a shelf attached to my face." She wasn't wrong. Mistake 2. Heavy, straight-across bangs. Tempting, I know. They hide the forehead, give a little drama. But for square faces, they shorten the upper half and compress everything into the bottom third. Suddenly, the strong jaw becomes the only story. And one woman, bless her, once told me, "I thought these bangs would make me look mysterious, but now I just look mildly annoyed all the time." I had no choice but to agree. With love. Mistake 3. The ultra-sleek, flat-ironed look with 0 layers. Modern? Yes. Forgiving? Not really. On square faces, especially for women over 60, this look can feel a bit severe. No softness, no movement, just geometry. Here's the thing. We're not here to erase structure. We're here to balance it, to let the face breathe a little, soften at the edges, and reflect the grace we've grown into. So if you've ever tried a haircut and felt like your jawline entered the room before you did, don't worry, you're not alone, and the next part is going to feel like a gentle exhale. Let's talk about the haircuts that truly lift, flatter, and glow. Part 2. The best haircuts for square faces after 60 that soften the jaw beautifully. All right, let's dive into the fun part. Here are 3 of the most flattering haircuts for square faces, especially for women over 60, that add softness, bring balance, and give your face that effortless glow we're all after. 1. The soft, layered bob. You love the idea of a bob, but every time you try one, it feels like your jaw gets all the attention. And not in the good way. You're not imagining it. A blunt bob on a square face is like framing a frame. Too many lines. That's where the soft layered bob comes in. Instead of drawing attention to the jaw, this cut floats around it. We introduce gentle layers starting at the cheeks, just enough to create natural movement and soften any sharpness. Think glow, not geometry. One of my favorite clients, Nancy, 67, said it best. When I looked in the mirror after this cut, I didn't see a different woman. I saw me, but lighter, like someone had opened a window. This cut works wonders for women over 60 because it doesn't try to change your face. It simply makes everything feel a little more effortless. And bonus, it's super low maintenance. Let it air dry with a little texturizing cream, or give it a quick round brush blowout. You're good to glow. Style 2, the side swept lob. Still want to keep some length? Perfect. The side swept lob is your new best friend. This one hits just below the jawline. A subtle but powerful shift. Why? Because it elongates the lower face, softening that strong square frame and creating a more graceful oval silhouette. But here's the real magic, the side-swept fringe. By parting the hair slightly off-center and sweeping it gently across the forehead, you introduce a diagonal line, which instantly breaks up any horizontal harshness. One client, Teresa, 64, came in skeptical. But after that first side part, she looked in the mirror and whispered, "It's like someone took the heaviness out of my face." If you want elegance with ease, this cut checks every box. It's versatile, sophisticated, and has just the right amount of movement. When you talk to your stylist, ask for a lob that falls just below the jaw, face framing layers that move, and a soft side-swept bang that feels like a breeze. Style 3, the textured Pixie with side volume. Now, let's talk short, really short, but not sharp, soft. The textured Pixie with side volume might just be the most freeing decision you'll ever make. And I say that as someone who's watched dozens of women over 60 light up in the mirror after trying it. The trick is in the texture. We add soft volume at the crown and temples, which pulls the eye upward and away from the jawline. No stiffness. Just a feathered lightness that says, yes, I'm still bold, but I'm also beautifully me. Linda, 70, was one of those bold souls. She walked in saying, "I want to cut it all off, but I don't want to look like my brother." We gave her a textured Pixie with gentle volume, and she walked out laughing. I feel younger, lighter, and like I finally caught up with myself. That's the magic of this cut. Short doesn't have to mean masculine or harsh. With the right layers and a soft side bang, it can be one of the most face-softening, spirit-lifting styles for women over 60. So whether you're a bob lover, a lob lover, or ready for the Pixie plunge, these haircuts aren't about changing who you are. They're about revealing the version of you that's been there all along, just waiting for the right shape, the right movement, the right moment. Coming up next, we'll talk hair color and how just a few soft tones in the right spots can transform your whole look without a big dye job. Shall we? DUSD, Part 3, Bonus, Hair Color Tips that Soften Square Features. Haircuts shape your look, but color brings it to life. And when it comes to softening square features, just the right touch of color can gently blur sharp angles, brighten mature skin, and bring a natural glow back to your entire face. One of the most effective techniques is face framing highlights, subtle lighter tones placed around the cheekbones, temples, or just above the jaw. They create the illusion of light, like a natural soft focus filter that takes the edge off stronger lines. One woman from our Glow After 60 community, Denise, 66, said, "I didn't want a dramatic change, but after adding just a few soft highlights around my face, people kept asking if I'd been on vacation. I looked rested and lighter." Stylist Jenna often recommends warmer tones to her mature clients with square faces. Honey blondes, soft champagnes, even a warm chestnut brown. These shades add depth without harsh contrast. For women over 60, they can work wonders for both the face and the confidence. And if you've embraced your natural silver or gray, wonderful. Just make sure your cut complements the texture and keep your silver luminous, not dull. A silvery gray layered bob, for example, can look incredibly elegant and fresh, especially when it moves. The truth is, you don't need a bold color change to make an impact. Sometimes, just a few soft shifts in tone are all it takes to make your features glow, your eyes sparkle, and your haircut feel complete. A square face doesn't need fixing. It doesn't need softening because it's wrong. Only if you want it to feel a little different. It speaks of strength, of character, of a life well lived, with stories worth every angle. But if you, like many women over 60, have been craving something softer, something that feels more in tune with where you are now, then a good haircut isn't just a change, it's a gift. A gift to your reflection, to the woman you've become, to the softness you've earned. I'll never forget what one woman told me after trying one of these cuts. I didn't look like someone else. I looked like me, just finally relaxed, like my face could breathe again. And that's what I want for you. So tell me in the comments, which of today's styles are you secretly curious to try? Is there a story behind your square face that you'd love to share? Trust me, another woman over 60 might need to hear it today. And if this video made you smile or helped you see yourself in a softer light, I'd love for you to click subscribe and stay with us here at Glow After 60. We're a growing community of women who know beauty doesn't fade, it evolves. Elegance doesn't retire, it relaxes into confidence. And this next chapter? It's not about turning back the clock, it's about turning up the light. Your light, your shape, your glow. And it's just getting started.